Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanao Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadi Tamastu Ma Vishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. And we will share the screen here. And share. There we go, February 16th in Asia. First topic. Hindu Tools for Success, Part 3. Okay, from 2009, Swami Temple, Kuala Lumpur. Start with a summary of our definition of true success. Summarize the section. True success includes making achievements in all four goals of life: Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. That is, moksha in the sense of the journey toward moksha, said another way, seriously striving to make spiritual progress. Two more. Generously share their wealth with others, in touch with their inner happiness, Sahajananda. So those are the 6 points, in summary, that we included in true success. And we are looking at a topic that many of you are familiar with, affirmation. See how well you remember it. The idea behind affirmations is that through the repetition of positive statements, we can improve our self-concept, make greater progress on the spiritual path, and in general, increase our magnetism to success. So magnetism to success relates to success. To progress spiritually, a positive self-concept is essential. For this, the use of affirmations can be quite helpful. This section of the presentation is based on material in a booklet we recently produced, recently meaning 2009, called The Power of Affirmation. There is also similar information in a chapter of Gurudeva's book, Merging with Shiva. And our first question to you. What does Gurudeva say in Cognizant Ability about how the future is created? The future is created by. Remember that. How do we create our own future? Gurudeva elucidates the basis for affirmations in the Cognizant Ability resource in the back of his book, Merging with Shiva. The future is created by the impressions we have put into the subconscious in the past, and those impressions we are placing there in the present. So what happens to us, our subconscious mind is attracting it. It's not somebody else doing it to us. We are bringing it to ourselves. Many impressions that go into the subconscious mind are the actions of our life and our reactions to these actions, both of which shape the experiences we have in the future in a haphazard way. Affirmations, on the other hand, are carefully chosen impressions we are deliberately placing in our subconscious mind to produce specific results in the future. Let's begin by looking at the concept of affirmations by asking the question, what exactly is a positive self-concept? Why don't you answer that one to yourself? What exactly is a positive self-concept? It is thinking of ourselves as a worthy individual deserving of a wonderful life and fully capable of achieving it. Unfortunately, many of us reach adulthood with a negative self-concept, feeling that others are better than we are and life has little to offer. Negative self-concept develops when, while growing up, we are criticized constantly or cruelly by our parents and teachers. Having a positive concept about our outer self allows us to identify with our spiritual nature so that we truly feel we are a divine being. In other words, if you have a negative self-concept about yourself, you're trapped in it. You can't feel that you're a divine being and experience your divine being. So you have to get rid of that trap, which is a negative self-concept, by turning it positive, which is how affirmations can help. Let's look for a moment at the concept of changing our self-concept. Let's look for a moment at the concept of changing our self-concept from a negative one to a positive one. If our physical body becomes weak due to illness, after the illness is gone, everyone knows that we can, through consistent exercise, regain our normal strength again. If, however, our outlook on life has become negative because of experiencing a period of difficult experiences, and we feel that we just can't be successful, we tend to think our state of mind is something that cannot be changed. However, just as we can strengthen the body through exercise and become fit again after an illness, we can also remold the subconscious mind and change its composition through the power of affirmation after a negative period in our life. And an important question to you: what are the 3 keys to successfully using affirmations? This is really important to remember and to actually do effectively. Gurudeva gives us a very important key to being successful in affirmations. It is when repeating the affirmation to simultaneously think, visualize, and feel what the affirmation is manifesting. Let's look more closely at these 3 aspects of affirmations with the example of, I can, I will, I am able to accomplish what I plan. Think means consciously being aware of what the affirmation means. When we are fully focused on what we are saying, we know what it means. But it is easy when you do an affirmation, say 100 times a day. After a while, your mind is thinking about something else. What am I going to eat for breakfast? What am I going to do about this or that? Your mind has become divided. We have a divided mind. If we are thinking about something else at the same time we are doing the affirmation, we are not grasping the meaning. We are just repeating the affirmation out of habit. So we have to think about what the affirmation means. Visualize means to create a mental picture illustrating the affirmation. We need to picture something in our mind which is an illustration, just like drawing on paper that illustrates the concepts in the affirmation. We need to hold this visualization at the same time as we are understanding what the words mean. We can change the visualization now and then. It doesn't always have to be the same one. That again keeps it from becoming a habit. As an example of a visualization for the affirmation, I can, I will, I am able to accomplish what I plan, is to see yourself sitting at a desk planning the remodeling of a room in your home, followed by the image of doing the carpentry for the room. Feel means to have the same feeling you will have when this is consistently happening in your life. In the case of this affirmation, it is the feelings of confidence and success from being able to accomplish what you plan. You need to feel now how you will feel in the future when you are successful and confident. Maybe we don't know how it will feel. Maybe we never felt that way. So we have to find those feelings of confidence and success and have those present while we are doing the affirmation. This is the part that people sometimes leave out because they don't realize its importance. So the feeling nature has to be brought in. Thinking nature, visualizing nature, and the feeling nature all have to be involved. In repeating the affirmation, I can, I will, I am able to accomplish what I plan. You may find that during this exercise you find yourself feeling, I can't, I won't, I am not able. If that is the case, it shows there is a strong negative self-concept in the subconscious mind. Therefore, great benefits to one's spiritual and material life will occur if this exercise is continued. You don't give up, you continue for a long period of time, which will result in the negative self-concept being replaced by a positive one. If you like a longer affirmation can be used in your daily exercise, such as the following one. When done in the early morning, this affirmation is particularly good for setting a positive mood for the coming day. I am now open to a flow of spiritual energy in which I perceive the most worthy course of action for this day. My service, being selfless, opens new doors of supply, making available all of the tools required so that my work will be beautiful, energetic, and influential to the highest degree. Simple affirmation for financial abundance is, I will always have sufficient money to meet all my needs. Here's another affirmation that is more of a purely spiritual nature that affirms our identity as a spiritual being. It is most effective when repeated several times before sleep and upon awakening. I am not my body, mind, or emotions. They are but shells of the infinite energy that flows through them all. I am this energy. I am its source. However, as in the saying, be careful what you wish for, the power of affirmation needs to be used with wisdom. Affirmations remold the subconscious mind and thereby change our future. Therefore, we need to be careful that the future we are creating is one in which the responsibilities and challenges are within our abilities to successfully handle. It is wiser to choose a future that is a natural step up in life from where we are than one that is many, many steps away from us. For example, it is a natural next step for someone who is renting an apartment to purchase a modest house. However, purchasing an extravagant mansion would probably be too big a step up to successfully handle. It is important to understand the difference between affirmations and mantras. Let me share a situation to illustrate that came in on email. I am not enjoying good health since many months. I have done all my checkups. My doctor told me that everything is perfect and normal, but I can't eat well and I am losing weight. I am following an Ayurvedic treatment. I would be grateful if a mantra could be given by Bodhinata for my recovering. My response was, sorry to hear about your health problems. It is positive that your doctor says everything is perfect and normal. Perhaps more exercise is needed to re-stimulate the pranas of the body, such as a long walk once a day. In Gurudeva's teachings, we do not give mantras for anything but spiritual progress. For other needs, we use affirmations. You could repeat an affirmation on a daily basis, such as, through the grace of God, gods, and Guru, I am healthy and physically strong. A few years ago, one of our shishya asked for an affirmation to help him get off to a good start in his new business. I checked with another shishya who is a professional salesperson for his advice, and based on it created the following affirmation for a business that involves sales. The example used is selling insurance. I beseech the blessings of Lord Ganesha for the wisdom to listen carefully to my clients, fully understand their insurance needs, and thus be better able to provide them the most suitable product. In this way, through Lord Ganesha's grace, my clients are enriched and satisfied, and my life insurance agency is abundantly successful, providing bountiful wealth to my family and religion. Very nice. For many years, as part of our pre-dawn worship, our monastery in Hawaii has repeated an affirmation. We recite it aloud together. It has been effective in reminding all the monastics of the overview of what we are doing, and the importance of integrating the blessings of the deities into our everyday affairs. A few years ago, we developed a similar affirmation for families to use to repeat together every morning. The first line of the affirmation uses the name of the family, so we will use Shivam as the family name to illustrate. We, the Shivam family, beseech the grace of Lord Ganesha to manifest his blessings of peace and harmony within our home and to joyfully fulfill the spiritual, social, economic, cultural, and educational goals of family life as outlined in Hindu scripture. We remain close-knit and cultivate unity by talking together about the experiences of our day, extending our affection and harmony to other families as well. We take time for training and we value mistakes as opportunities to learn. To us, the guest is truly God, welcomed and honored with heartfelt hospitality. Through our thoughtfulness, care, and compassion, we allow an abundance of gold to accumulate within our home. We give generously of our income and our time to further our religion. We are filled and thrilled with God's cosmic energy, creatively alive and in tune with the universe. Okay. Topic related to affirmations is dealing with worry. Worry is a common problem we all face now and then. For example, we were recently laid off work, thus we regularly worry about finding a new job. When you find yourself worrying about finding a new job, switch instead to a positive visualization of yourself being hired. Develop an affirmation that utilizes the same visualization and repeat it every day as well. For example, I have a new job as an accountant for an excellent company. A related type of worry is to think about a major decision on and off during the day, but without ever coming to a conclusion. For example, you have some extra cash and are not sure how to invest it during these uncertain economic times. A good approach is to make an appointment with yourself for a time when you are free to think through the matter and come to a conclusion once and for all. Until the appointment comes, if you start to think about it, tell yourself there is no need to think about it, as you will sort it out when the appointment time comes. Very effective for major decisions. The next section of our talk looks at the Hindu temple itself as a tool for success, based on concepts presented in Chapter 25, Visiting a Hindu Temple. The idea that the Hindu temple can be a powerful tool for success in our professional and family life is an idea many Hindus do not have in mind. Quite often the temple is simply thought of as benefiting the purely spiritual aspects of our life. I remember a few years ago when we were in Bangalore, a young woman, Hindu journalist, was interviewing our group of pilgrims as to why they were in Bangalore. I mentioned we were going to the Rajarajeshwari temple. She indicated that she did not know where it was and in fact had not been to a temple in many years. Clearly, she did not have a perspective which made worship at the temple relevant to her success as a young journalist. There are a number of ways in which the temple can be used as a tool for success. We're going to focus on 3. Of course, there are many more. Our first is how worship in the temple can open inner doors to new opportunities. Interesting idea. This process takes place because through the actions of sincere worship, our energies are lifted up and our higher chakras are temporarily more active. The higher chakras are our source of intuition or superconscious insights. Thus we can have insights into new possibilities that we would not have otherwise had. Let me share with you a story from a young woman in Canada illustrating this aspect of temple worship. She states, "While I was going to university, it was a general practice of mine to vow to Lord Ganesha to complete a certain religious task for a specific duration of time, and ask for blessings and help with exams and schoolwork. For example, I would often vow to attend puja at the temple every day for a week straight and pray for Ganesha's help to do well on my exams. During the last day of my degree, I was facing a very important interview for entrance into an internship program. Without acceptance into an internship, I could not receive the professional designation of registered dietitian and would not have achieved the goal of 4 years of university studying. The process was highly competitive, and as it turned out, only 1 in 8 students in my class were admitted into the internship program. As the interview drew near, I went to the temple and sat and prayed to Lord Ganesha. I told him that I would make coming to see him daily a priority in my life for a minimum 2 weeks and as long as I could after that, and prayed for him to remove any obstacles blocking my path from having a successful interview and being accepted into the internship program. Oh, let's see how many more slides we have here. Okay. Looks like I used every Ganesha picture I could find. Okay, I hope it stops soon. There we go. Second and easily understood benefit of temple worship is to help us stabilize our emotions. This includes assuaging long-held hurts as well as simply pulling yourself back together after an upsetting day. In a recent Publisher's Desk opinion piece in our international magazine, Hinduism Today, I shared how any emotional problem, such as depression, might be alleviated through temple worship. The article said, we can go to the temple and place our problems at the feet of the deity. We bring offerings, talk to the deity about our unhappiness, and go through a deep inner process, just as if we were talking to a person in this physical world. But we receive blessings from the deity if we open ourselves in the right way. Force is awakened, which you don't get from a person. Blast of divine energy that helps remove the problem. Sometimes, if it works out well, we may go away not even remembering what the problem was. That's a definite sign of success. These blessings of the deity, as we know, are called sanidhyam. And we're skipping some of this because we've done it many times. When it comes to emotional disturbances, certainly a common event is for married couples to freely dump their emotional problems on one another. It's as if their marriage license is taken as a license to burden one another with the emotional issues they had during the day. For example, husband and wife meet at home at the end of the day and immediately burden one another with what is upsetting them, hoping this will somehow make them feel better. There is an option, which is the one we just mentioned, of taking your emotional problems to Lord Ganesha. Go to the home shrine or a nearby temple, talk these emotional issues through with the deity, pray. Perhaps the emotional disturbances can be resolved without your spouse even needing to know about them. Here are some specific suggestions for stabilizing our emotions. When you are at home and find yourself starting to get upset and angry or feeling any other strong negative emotion, go to the Ganesha Murti in the home shrine or the nearby temple. In our tradition, Lord Ganesha is preferred to other deities for stabilizing emotions, but any deity could be utilized. Make an offering of a fruit or flower. Talk to Ganesha about your emotional upset. Repeat some chants or songs to Lord Ganesha for 5 minutes. While you are chanting or singing, feel the peaceful Shakti that radiates out from Lord Ganesha and visualize it permeating you and making you feel more calm and peaceful. When you are finished, thank Lord Ganesha for his help in lessening your upset, anger, or other emotional problem. Next, close your eyes in meditation and regulate your breath. Breathing in 9 counts, holding 1. Breathing out 9 counts, holding 1. Once you have established this rhythmic breathing pattern, for 5 minutes, visualize the color light blue, flooding out from the center of your spine and filling your aura, surrounding your body. The light blue will further neutralize, for example, the fiery reds of anger that are in your aura. And before you know it, the anger and resentment of your emotion will be gone. End your meditation and leave the home shrine or temple. If the emotion was one of anger, perform 3 kindly acts for the persons you got upset with, 3 tasks you were not otherwise planning to do. Third way, the temple, and again particularly the worship of Lord Ganesha, can be a helpful tool for success, is in helping us experience good timing. Have you noticed that some days your timing is excellent and you are in the right place at the right time? Yet on other days your timing is off. Everyone you go to see has just left, the store just closed, you missed your bus by 1 minute. Worship of Lord Ganesha at the temple can enable us to tune into the natural flow of events that allows us to be in the right place at the right time. Quiets the aggressive intellect, showing you to be guided, allowing you to be guided by intuition, which can change a day of bad timing to one of perfectly good timing. It's the end of our first topic. And character qualities from our character building workbook. Non-hurtfulness, 36th character quality. How would you define non-hurtfulness? Ahimsa, of course. Sanskrit. The workbook gives this definition. Non-hurtfulness is to not harm others through actions, words, or thoughts. I observe it through living non-violently, including internalizing anger or frustration. The opposite is hurtfulness. So just to stress that, threefold, right? Some religious traditions just talk about actions. You don't harm people with your actions. This adds 2 more subtleties. You don't even harm people with your words, and not even your thoughts. Because thoughts, negative thoughts, harm people. Make it harder for them to be successful. So thought, word, and deed. Gurudeva's quotes, even tolerance is insufficient to describe the compassion and reverence the Hindu holds for the intrinsic sacredness within all things. Therefore, the actions of all Hindus are rendered benign or ahimsa. One would not want to hurt something which one revered. Not harming others by thought, word, or deed is a cardinal law of Hinduism and cannot be avoided, discarded, ignored, or replaced by the more subtle concept of compassion. Ahimsa, among the yamas and niyamas, could be considered the only explicit commandment Hinduism gives. Cardinal law. Ahimsa, non-injury, not harming others by thought, word, or deed. It is a matter of realizing what life is really all about and how harming others violates our own inner being. When an injurious act is committed, it makes a mark deep within the mind of the violator. So we're putting something in our own subconscious, which will attract something in the future, as we talked about in Affirmations. Reflection. Take a moment to identify a few ways in which you can improve in non-hurtfulness. Generally, the area that needs refinement is words. We sometimes use hurtful words. And the third topic is, as usual, Yoga Swami's words of our master. On the highest level, you do not have to control even the mind, because to control the mind, there must be a second. There will come a time when the mind becomes quiet by itself. What does that mean to you? My thought, Yoga Swami has given us the goal to keep working toward. The mind is simply quiet without any effort to control it. Gurudeva explains that in Merging with Shiva. He says when the Anahata and Vishuddha chakras are spinning fast enough, that's the state of mind you're in. You're not controlling thought. You're above thought, so to speak. So that's the goal, to get above thought. What we don't want to be is like someone walking a dog, an energetic dog, and the dog wants to rush forward and we're holding on the leash. Dog being our thoughts. That's what we want to get away from, where it's we have to put a tremendous amount of effort in to calm down our thoughts. Buddha preached, so he had desire. Desire can be reduced, but it cannot be entirely eliminated. What does that mean to you? This is the same idea we find in Gurudeva's teachings, which is rather than try to eliminate desire, we strive to have higher-minded desires that help others as well as ourselves. Just as the raw fruit follows the flower, and the ripe fruit the raw fruit, so let realization come gradually. What does that mean to you? My thought, there's a tendency to try to speed up the process of spiritual unfoldment faster than it should go. Yoga Swami is advising us to avoid that perspective. It takes as long as it takes. We had one, I think, recently, if you have an unripe melon in the field, what can you do to make it ripen faster? And you can't do anything. So, takes as long as it takes, and one of the points I make, not in this answer I wrote, but elsewhere, is because it takes a long time, you have to be careful that you enjoy the journey. In other words, you don't want to rush to the end and think that all fulfillment lies only when you get to the end. Fulfillment lies in every step of the journey. It's a better way of looking at it. Thank you very much. There we are. Om. Om. Om.